So with like RV parks and some of the other things before you landed on multifamily and self storage, give me the pros and cons of some of those real quick.
RV parks are great. I mean, and I'll be honest. In the RV park, maybe I said it's an active investor. I'm a limited partner on the RV park side, which is great. Came in as a debt partner on that side. I enjoy that business, and that goes hand in hand with self storage, actually, in the sense that one of the facilities we're building right now is a boat and RV storage facility. You say, well, why? I lump that into self storage, but why boat and RV storage? Well, review the last 2 years. What are people doing? Staycations. They're staying stateside. They're not flying all over the world to go on vacation. RV and boat deliveries were up 30% 2020 over 2019, and the same again in 2021 over 2020. I mean, people have to have a place to store this stuff somewhere. And not only that, but RV parks. I mean, the prices of RV parks, the cap rates have just been compressing like crazy. Because those things are, I mean, a lot of these RV parks, you go out to the Mountain West, and a lot of these RV parks used to be seasonal, 6 to 9 months, maybe 9 months a year at best. Now, most of these places, I mean, there's some I was looking at in Durango, Colorado, and it's like they're 12-month-a-year RV parks, just because the demand is so high, and they're figuring out ways to winterize a lot of these RVs and make them, all season RVs, because that's one of the problems you run into with RV travel is that if it's not a 20 or not a all season RV, then you can't use it in the winter because stuff freezes up and you can't, but they're figuring out ways to get around that. Some of them are set up for that now. So these RV parks are trading at incredible cap rates. And the two kind of go hand in hand. So I know I'm wandering all over the place, but that's RV parks. I think it's the great asset class to be in. And I don't see it going away, especially with the number of deliveries of RVs that we've seen. And that goes hand in hand with the self-storage of boat and RV storage that we're very interested in. So both of those have right now extraordinary demand and, no sign of waning. And they're also assets that when people pump a lot of money into, they're not likely to get rid of or to stop making the payment on. So, when it comes to the storage side, boat and RV storage is great. I mean, because you got $100,000 assets sitting in a 40-foot bay. What are you going to do? You're going to pay that $100 a month or $150 a month note to make sure that you can get your RV out, because you don't want to see the sheriff at the auction, saying, "Hey, I got this RV trading for 10 cents on the dollar." So, I think those are great asset classes to be in, where people, there's incentive to make sure they continue to pay, and it's easy to evict if you have to. So
Yeah,
again, I'm wandering, but